Reese, you deal with a lot of grief. Like I think about, Brother Paul Walker, and I think about
John
Singleton, your mother.
Divorce. Both of my sisters died.
Your sisters. People don't look at divorce as grief, but you did. You lose things, You probably lost a lot of friends when you went through your mental health breakdown. Are you really, have you really taken the time to deal with all of that grief? Or do you just try to stay busy to avoid it?
I'm doing the best I can with every 24 hours I get. That's it.
Get some tissue for me, brother.
No, I don't need no tissue. Black men cry.
That's right.
Need no fucking tissue. Every 24 hours I get, I'm doing the best I can. Beautiful Pain, 1992. There is no square footage I could ever live in. There is no rims, no jewelry, and no car. There is no net worth. There is no press release. There is no co-star. There is no collaboration in the world that could ever replace my mama. That could ever fill the void of what it's like to wake up and get married and want to be in something for the rest of your life. And it goes away.
You're making me cry.
Get Tyree some tissue.
I don't need no tissue.
Man, you U.S., man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love you.
You've
too,
been holding
brother.
this
Do
in
you
the whole
understand
interview,
how
though.
much power it is in letting it go?
Yeah, because you've been holding it the whole interview. I've been watching you.
You asked me the question.
I did, but I mean, I'm getting you some
You should have
tissue.
never asked the question
I love you,
if you
brother.
didn't want to see
I love you, brother. I love you. I love you.
how hard it's been to get through.
I love you. I love you, black man.
Okay, do you not cry?
Absolutely.
You might not bring it to the radio,
Absolutely.
but this is what being grown
Thank
is.
you, brother.
I'm not doing this.
I need one. My makeup going to mess up. I did.
Hear me.
My concealer
Hear
is
me.
sitting today.
Hear me. Black men cry. When divorces happen, women aren't the only one that are devastated. When a miscarriage happens, women are not the only one that you should be checking on. When you can't put food on the table because your career goes up and then it goes down, stop calling, skipping over the man, and just checking on the woman.
I wound up at this rehab, right, in Utah, and they do something called Family Week. And every week, on a Sunday, everybody who's involved in the program has their family show up on these Skype calls. And everybody will show up in the same room. And your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your friends, whatever.
Just you and the people? Or
no, it's you, the whole squad of you that are in this group. Like 12 of us in my class.
Everyone's family.
Everyone's family pops up on the screen. And week one, no one shows up. For me, no one. They got the calls. I know they got the calls, but no one showed up. My mother, my father, no one showed up. Manager, friends, no one showed up. Week two, same thing. So I'm sitting in this room, and even the person who's like therapizing me, she's starting to feel like this. She's empathizing with where I'm at. Everybody else in the room, we got a dude who like, this isn't just alcoholics and shit. This is like fucking arsonists and like child predators and all kind of wild people in this group, right? And they got people showing up for them. And I don't have nobody showing up for me. And week two, week three, I'm there 90 days. So I'm there for a clip. And there comes a point where Family Week comes around. I say to my therapist, like, I'm not gonna go. Like I don't want to subject myself to this shit. Like I'm on a path, and let me just stay here. Like I don't want to keep reminding myself of how fucked my situation is. And she says, no, I think you should show up this week. And I show up thinking, all right, my mom's gonna be on there. My mom will be on, and Mia is on the screen, and like. You don't deserve that kind of shit. You know what I mean? You don't deserve that kind of shit. Like, I don't deserve that kind of shit. I done put her through years and years of fucking nonsense, bro. Just like, and I don't have nothing to offer her either. You know what I mean? I'm in the middle of my shit. I'm I'm like 2 months into this program. You know, I don't even have nothing going on. I have nothing going on. I'm making this list. She's at the top of the list, but I'm not reaching out to her or nothing like that. And you heard her voice. Like, she's like a fucking angel, you know what I mean? Everybody does their shit and I'm fucking gone, you know? And so they let her go first because I can't even fucking believe. And they all know because I ain't had no family show up for me. And she unmutes and she's like, "Hi, Shia." You know, and it's like, she's prepping a movie. She ain't got no fucking time for this, you know? But she found time and she said, "Hi, Shia." And we just smiled. We had nothing else to say. But she saved my fucking life, dog. Like, before the kid, before the job, before God, before any religion, before a laugh, before a laugh, before Bo, before a phone, before anything, was this woman's face. And there wasn't no promises made, wasn't no long conversation being had, nothing. Just her presence, the ministry of presence. Sometimes that's all you need to offer a person who's in a situation like that, is like, just to be present. And she was present for me at a time when I didn't deserve to have nobody in my life, especially her. And I'm not trying to do this boo shit, because right away my head goes to like, how's this being viewed? I'm such a fuck this way. But
good. You include terribly.
Well, for example, now when I go, wherever I go in the world, people come up to me and they're usually, I wouldn't say they're happy to see me. They're often in tears, you know, and they often have a pretty rough story to relate. You know, they were suicidal or nihilistic or homicidal or trapped, desperate, you know, and they tell me that real fast. And then they say, "I've overcome that to a large degree and thank you for that." And you think, well, that's really something to have that happen over and over. In some ways, you might think, well, how could anything better possibly happen to you than to have people come up to you all over the world, strangers, and open themselves up like that, like they're old friends so quickly. But at the same time, it's an awful thing, because you see, even in the revelation of their triumph, the initial depth of their despair. So I wouldn't change that, but it's not nothing. And it's certainly not just happiness. It's better than happiness, but it's almost unbearable. God, tears again. It's been quite 2 weeks in the UK. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. Such a great country, this country. It's such a profound place. And it was so wonderful to see Cambridge and Oxford and to be welcomed by the students. And
I saw the queues around the block and the reaction you got. I watched the talk in Cambridge, and it was so wonderful to see, because you know, I know that you don't do what you do for credit. That kind of seems to be the antithesis of the pursuing your truth and doing it in the cause of truth. But it was so wonderful to see someone that I know has had such a profound impact on so many be received in such a way. We have a closing tradition.
Okay.
One of the, I don't normally do this, but one of the really great CEOs in our country, a young guy, has built a multi-billion-dollar company, really great guy, sat here yesterday, and I actually told him for the first time who he was writing the question for, and I couldn't believe his face. Oh my God, that's the one person I want to have dinner with. This is probably the most successful young person in our country. And so he knew who he was writing the question for. So the question that the previous guest wrote is, why do you do what you do?
to see what will happen. Some programs you cannot predict, right? You cannot predict how they're going to end. You have to run them. Well, I believe that truth will save the world. I believe that. So you speak truthfully and you watch what happens and you take your consequences, and maybe you hope and have some faith that in the final analysis, things will work out in your favor, but perhaps they will and perhaps they won't. But That's faith, eh? That's faith. Faith isn't believing in things you regard as ridiculous, sacrificing your intellect. It's a decision, you know? Will truth, beauty, and love save the world? Well, you can find out.